That was, we're natural. We're off to a good start. We're meant for each other.
All right, everybody.
Okay.
Give him help, yes.
We'll do our best. Thank you. Au revoir.
How are we?
I almost said, how are you? Oh my God. I gotta sit in the snake. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey Parise, everybody. Wow, wait, aren't you blessed?
Adam Fergus.
We're blessed.
Here we are, together again.
Do we have any LA natives here? Last time they
Yeah!
Wow. I thought you guys all left, because we came. Right?
What about Burbank? Anybody live in Burbank?
No.
Nah.
No one lives in Burbank. Oh, it's so good to be here. It's like aptly named Giving Back Tour, because we give something back to everyone. And you know, I was thinking, Jeff, what kind of things do you like to do to give back? Like, you know, in terms of
I understand.
necessarily monetary charity. That's okay. I was up until 5 a.m. because I was watching Ireland be beaten by the All Blacks in the Rugby World Cup. I'm sure there's not many rugby fans here. And I'm no longer one either because we got hammered and I stayed up really late to do it and now I'm dying. But anyway, so that's why my words might not make a lot of sense today. So
I understood every single one of those words.
oh thank God. No, so, but, you know, in terms of like giving back.
I did with the intention of giving back, especially to this community, because this community was the reason that I got to travel to New Zealand and Australia. And I got really reconnected with nature on those trips. And so I made a short film called Gift. And the gift had many meanings. It was the gift that nature gives us, and it was my gift to the Supernatural family and to anybody who wanted to watch it. I put it out there, not as any sort of monetary gain or anything, just as sharing, just beautiful images that I saw, animals, nature, and the importance of reconnecting with nature. How about you? How about you?
You know, it's funny, like, you know, every year we make these kind of New Year's resolutions and we're like, okay, this year I'm going to do this, and this year I'm going to give up smoking, and this year I'm going to not drink as much, and all this kind of stuff. And it was, I don't know who it was years ago that said to me, you know, I'm going to do something rather than give up something, you know? And it was just something simple, because I'm quite a hothead, very short temper, especially on the sports field, anything like got to do with like sports and stuff. And I just told myself, just, you know, to the people that you're not necessarily nice to initially, the people that kind of try and have a different framework of mind and coming at it from a different angle. And I found that really rewarding for like 3 days. So every year I try and get to like 4 days and 5 days and 6 days. No, but I recently
Up to January 5th.
Fuck
everybody.
Little Christmas, January 6th is always the worst for me. When the decorations come down, so is my attitude. Did anyone get the charm bracelets? Does anyone get the charm bracelets?
Yes!
Like Michelle Henning is she's an amazing woman. So like, you know, we did these charm bracelet things, and you know, you choose a charity, and oh my God, I've got a blank. Does anyone know the charity I gave? I gave this charity that...
It was a long night.
No, basically, when I was...
Ireland lost everyone. Just so you know.
But where's Michelle? Michelle, are you here? No, but the charity, I'll tell you what the charity does. It gives kids in war-torn areas like sports equipment and educates them in classes on, you know, like regular schooling, teaching them like, you know, academics and stuff, but also like sports equipment so that they can play sports like normal kids, and they don't really have the facilities in refugee camps and stuff like that. So that's kind of,
What's a typewriter?
Oh, it's a typewriter. Mine was a typewriter. Very little typewriter. Thanks to David Hayden Jones, because he always ribbing me about the typing that he always says, you know. But yeah, and it's all thanks to this beautiful fandom. Like, you know, they really inspire you to give back, and led by, of course, Misha Collins, who is possibly the most amazing human being I've ever met. Like, you know, his his charities and the amount of effort he personally puts in is just phenomenal, and he loves it. He lives for it, and it's an amazing thing and an inspirational thing for us all. And definitely this fandom has given me the, maybe up my game in terms of giving back to people.
Great.
Is there a dog going to ask a question?
Sweet. I love dogs.
There's a little German Shepherd.
Shallow.
Shamo.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
What's up, Bubba?
Hi. Have you a question?
Yes. So my question is for,
There's only two of us here.
Sorry. So my question is, if Mick didn't die, do you think that he would have stayed and helped the American hunters in America, or gone back to England and dealt with the British men and letters there?
I think very much he would have stayed here. He would have stayed here. I think, Mick's death was interesting, and obviously I didn't want to die, but it was quite poetic in the end because he had really been flipped by Sam and Dean, and kind of, he saw their way of doing things was more charitable, I suppose, and kind of saw people, and this is the great imagery of the show, like you saw people for exactly who they are and not demonize people, and I think the British men of letters way was just so vicious and so kind of like didn't really take into account the fact that everyone has a soul and everyone has kind of feelings, and I think that's what Mick was discovered when he met Sam and Dean, and he was quickly flipped. So I think he would have been an interesting addition to the crew. Also, I would have been in the show more, which would have been much better. But yeah, I definitely think he would have stayed here. So you never know. We'll see if he comes back this year. Fingers crossed. Thank you. Good morning.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon. Okay, if you say so.
For you.
It's morning somewhere.
7:30. So.
Okay.
So I've been asking this question since like 2014 at Calgary Comic Con, and my other friend has stepped in when I've been working conventions. Jeffrey answered this at VanCon. And so did David. It's, if you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be?
Did everyone hear that question?
If you were a tree, what kind of tree would you
What
be?
did I say?
Hang on, it's on my phone.
Okay, good.
While you're checking that, what kind of tree? I bet you chose a really cool
You
tree.
said weeping willow.
I was going to say a willow!
And Davies said a juniper bush.
Because he likes gin.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I want to say an oak tree because they live for like a long time. But I don't know, what's the easiest tree to climb? I used to love climbing trees as a kid, and falling out of them invariably. But yeah, like I know it's kind of a boring, easy one, but I think maybe an oak tree because
They're strong.
they're strong, like me. And I think I used to climb along them. We had one in our garden when I was a kid, so...
They smell good too, don't they?
They smell
I
good?
think they do. Don't oak trees smell good?
Yeah, not an oak tree. Cedar. Cedar's nice wood.
Cedar.
Where does the teak come from? Is there a teak tree? No. There is?
Yeah.
In Costa Rica, there's such a knowledgeable bunch of people, aren't there? Holy shit, puts me to shame. Okay, I'm going to say a teak tree. Because they're from Costa Rica. Thank you. I'm sorry I didn't put a lot of thought into it, but I didn't really have a lot of time.
Chad said he already feels like a tree.
Okay, cool. But in acting school, briefly went to acting school, and obviously, as you can tell, it was brief. But they make you like be a tree, and everyone's doing all this thing. And I remember looking around going, what is going on?
Yeah,
be a tree?
I can't do any. Yeah,
I was just too kind of like
do it.
focused on reality to be like, I can't do this, just stand here like this. And what do I do? And also, I can't sit, as you can see, I can't stand or sit still for more than 5 seconds. When I was a kid and I used to get nightmares, I'd go up to my parents' room and bug them, and eventually my mum would send me and my dad to the spare room, and I'd lie there, and I'd really want to move, and he would have to get up for work the next morning and be like, turn around, and my dad would go, jeez, just stop fidgeting. That only made me want to fidget more. And then you want to move one leg or move your arm, and I kept my dad away for years. Yeah, so I'm fidgety. If there's a fidgety tree, I'm going to be that as well. I don't know, there's one that moves quite a bit. Anyway, thanks for that.
I got nothing. Yeah, I got nothing. Sorry. With next question. Hi.
Hi, I asked this earlier, but I wanted to know your guys' answer. If your characters were to return this season, what would you want their reveal to be?
Well, the reveal.
Like when they first appear in the first episode that they're back, you see up and they're alive.
I had always maybe kind of hoped that Asmodeus would come back all scarred up from the flames and more pissed off than ever. And finally take the throne as the king.
Awesome. I would like to...
You know, that's all.
Take the throne. Which
As the king of hell.
Which throne? Oh,
The king of hell.
okay,
Instead of going from a prince to the king.
Oh, that's awesome. And maybe instead of white, you'd be wearing black or something?
No, I'd stay white.
Stay white.
I'd stay, yeah, because that suit's already taken.
True enough, true enough. I think I would like, I'd like for Ketch to be sleeping, like peacefully and a little smile on his face, like an innocent looking Ketch. And then just the camera would just pan up and just leave it like that. Staring at him until he wakes up. And then, I don't know what I'd do to him, someone asked this question at a con recently, and what would I like? Would I like to kill Ketch, or would I like to, I'd like to toy with him a little bit, but then I'd like him to be my friend, I'd torture him for sure for a while, maybe for a couple of days. And then, maybe, become friends and start our own revolution together. But just simply because I like working with David. But yeah, I'd like that reveal of
When you said
dish best served cold, baby. Sorry?
I was gonna say, when you said he's gonna be like asleep or something, I thought you were like, I'm just gonna be laying right next to him doing the crazy eyes, just staring.
Oh yeah, that kind of thing. That kind of thing, just but 2 inches away from his face, like that.
And then wait for him to wake up.
And just but I'd love Mick to come back as an evil mother. Are there kids here? We all sign stuff? Our panels can get quite toasty.
Yeah, that's fine.
There's no
They
parental
gotta learn
advisory.
sometime.
Have you met Kim?
Yes, you see, whenever Kim's here, it's going to be okay.
Kim's already been on.
Oh, she has?
Yes.
Did she fuck a lot?
Set the stage.
Okay, good. Awesome. She's a great leader, that one. Hi.
Hi.
How's it going? Like your ears?
Thank you. I got a tail too.
Oh, look at you. All dolled up. Is this your Halloween costume?
No, just like it. Okay, it's Halloween.
That wasn't an
Yeah.
insult. What the hell? She is wearing a costume.
Let your freak flag fly, baby.
Carry on.
So my question is for you.
Okay, awesome.
Really, my heart just really swelled when you decided to change who you were trained to be and help Sam and Dean instead. How did you feel when you read that? When your script came through that you were going to be who I always kind of thought Mick could be if he hadn't been picked up off the streets by the meta letters,
Sure.
Because it was really, you did beautiful. I mean, it was
Thank you.
absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I was so it's so lucky because I joke about it all the time. There's a snake in my chair. I do joke about it all the time. I'd love Mick to have stayed alive, but it was quite poetic what happened. He did start out. You don't really know, as you alluded to, you don't really know what you're getting when you read your script. And as David always says, he flicks to the back page to see if he's dead.
Right.
Thankfully, when I died, my agent called me when she sent me the script. She phoned me beforehand and said, "Listen, just so you know, you die in this one." And I didn't know how many episodes I was getting. I don't know if you did. I was supposed to get maybe 1 or 2 or 3, and I ended up doing 6. And you really fall in love with the whole family. And you guys, I hadn't even met you guys at that point, but it's such an enjoyable show to work on. It's such a great work ethic. There's so much messing and fun that happens, but it's always like on the back of really hard work, and it lends to a very happy work environment. So with all that in mind, when your character starts making a shift and you become closer with the main guys in the show, it kind of like, there's a bit of a crossover, because you're loving being there and you're loving it, and then you're loving the character being developed in a way that like the fans might like and the fandom might like, you know, buy, and but like it's interesting playing a bad guy. But I've never played a bad guy turn good before. It was a real fun experience, and I wish I did a couple more. You know.
I want to thank both of you. You were amazing characters.
That's so sweet. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So sweet.
Hi, it's my turn, I guess. Love you guys both on Supernatural.
Thanks.
My question's for Jeffrey, and it's not related to Supernatural, sorry. You're going to do a stint on Young and the Restless, which I have watched basically my entire life. I want to know if you can tell me anything about who you're going to maybe interact with or how long you might be on.
Only if I want the CBS spies to kill me in my sleep.
What can you say?
I can say...
I'm very intrigued.
I can say that it was a lot of fun, and that I'm guessing, by the way things went, that there's going to be more than expected.
Yay!
I can say...
you were so awesome.
What's that?
Because you were awesome.
Because it went great. It was one of those things that felt really good and everything. Yeah, it just was a very... everything about it was smooth, and there was a lot of excitement that I wasn't expecting. For me, it was my next gig, and then next thing you know, like Soap Opera Digest are doing a whole cover thing on it, and Soaps in Depth are doing all these things, and all these websites and blogs picked it up and ran with it. So I think they were like, oh, wait a minute.
I've heard a few rumors, and I just hope that, like, I'm going to say this, I'm going to see what your reaction is.
Okay.
I hope that you interact with Adam, and I hope you interact with Phyllis, because I feel like that would be a great thing to see.
I'm on the show?
Really?
Yes, really. And I hope you bring the Newman family to the ground.
Well, thank you. November 1st, it's coming.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is Cameron Grimes on Wine?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes, I
Yeah. She's good friends with Hayden. You know Cameron, red hair?
I hadn't met her
She
now.
plays Mariah.
Oh. See, I can't go.
Big cat.
Oh yeah, because I work.
sorry.
You know.
See, I was trying to get it for you. How you doing, man?
How's it going?
Good, thank you. And yourself?
Doing well.
Awesome.
So, both of you came into the Supernatural relatively later than most of the actors and whatnot, and I was curious if you guys were either warned or had expectations of the show environment and the fandom itself. Like, were you warned?
I feel like I just talked, so I could go, but...
I had a friend, I did a TV show called Being Erica in Toronto, and a friend of mine, Erin Carplug, I did her audition tape. You know, like as actors you help out, like you don't go into the casting director's office all the time, you send in tapes. And she called me one day and said she was like up for this role. I think she played Ruby, did she? Is that right? Did I know? So I did her audition tape and became aware of the show then. And then my other buddy, Mark Ralston, who I did a TV show with, he'd been on it in season 8 or something like that as well. So I had kind of like, I definitely heard of the show. I had no idea about this. I had absolutely no idea. Like it was mind-blowing. But Ruth Connell, like such a sweetheart. When I first arrived in Toronto, in Vancouver, there was a note on my door from Ruthie, and it said, from one Celt to another, if you ever want a cup of tea and a chat, just let me know. And I was like, that's so sweet. It was my first experience of the camaraderie amongst the cast, and we had that cup of tea, and Ruth was the one who told me about the conventions. But when we first were on set, I was walking around set, and I think Phil Sabrisha was directing that episode. The episode before I was about to start, Ruth took a photo, a selfie of the two of us. And she goes, do you have your Twitter notifications on? And I wasn't very good at using Twitter at the time, and not that I'm great now, but she goes, just be aware, your social media will blow up. And as soon as she took the photo and tweeted it, it just was amazing. It was ridiculous. I was getting all this like, oh, what's going on? And then I started like, reading some of the comments and stuff, and went down the rabbit hole that way. But yeah, I quickly became aware of the size of the audience of the show, which was really cool.
Yeah, I had no idea. Again, it was kind of like what I was just. It was all about the character for me. I got the script and was like, oh, wow, this is a really cool character. I wasn't very aware of the show at the time. And then I did a little research and was like, oh, it's a very cool show too. And after that, I think it was the night of the audition, it was right around my birthday, I had a birthday party, and a Toronto actor friend was there. And I said, I think I might have got this part that I went out for today. And he said, what? I said, Supernatural. He went, get that. Really? He goes, oh man. And he had been on Stargate, Atlantis, and so he's like, the conventions, it goes Star Trek, Supernatural. But now, I think it goes Supernatural, Star Trek. Yeah, babies!
Oh, it's thanks to you guys, so it's like...
Yeah. So no, I had no idea what I was getting myself into, and I'm still to this day, to right now, standing on this stage in Burbank, I'm blown away at what it is.
Do you remember your first panel and your first, like, what?
Yeah, it was Vegas. I went to Vegas, and it was a quick thing. Yeah, Vegas, baby! Vegas!
Yeah, that was awesome.
It was, and Richard Spade was in the back. They were like, your Q&A stuff. I'm like, what, my Q&A? What? He goes, no, you're going up on stage in like 5 minutes. I'm like, what do I talk about? He's like, come on, your storyteller, you'll figure it out. And sure enough, it pushed out, and everybody was so friendly and so welcoming and had great questions, and it felt natural. All of a sudden, this ancient sort of thing kicked in of like, oh wait, yeah, I'm a showman. Hi everyone. It worked.
It's good fun. Like it's like, you know, I always equated to, especially the panels. I always equated to like, you know, if you ever do theater as an actor, you get that immediate response from the audience every night, and then when you move on to TV and film and stuff, like that's a void that never is filled, really. Like, you know, you get interaction.
However, I think with social media, that's changing.
It is, very much so, yeah.
A bit, you know, because when I first started, I remember doing like guest stars and stuff like that, and you just kind of do it into a void. Even a lot of independent movies, no one really sees. But stuff like, well, when I first started doing the soaps, and then with this, after every episode, it's like walking out into a green room full of 1,000 people going, here's what I thought of your performance.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether you like it or not.
Thankfully in the theater, you don't really hear them. Like, yeah, you suck! Yeah. But like this does give you that kind of experience where you can kind of like get out on stage and people kind of who are here, they obviously are here for a reason, so they're your friends. Yeah, I mean, my first panel was with David in Blackpool. Was anyone here in Blackpool? You were? No. Yeah, Blackpool! Woo! So when we drive into this hotel, right? We're driving into this. I was like, what are we doing? What do we do here? We're driving in the bus with all the other cast members, and the Norbrook Castle boat, because the L had fallen off the side of this old, like it's like something from, I don't know, like The Shining or something, but it's way more dilapidated. It was this eerie building, and there's a big convention hall out the back, but it was like, it wasn't fancy like this, it was like a shed. And there were pigeons flying around in the middle of our panels. I was like, what the fuck is going on? This is crazy. But yeah, you just start running with it. It's so much fun. I love doing it.
You guys make it easy, that's for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thanks, Mick. Great question.
Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
Good.
Good.
So my mom is Irish, and so I grew up with a lot of stories and superstitions and things, and I wondered if you guys have any like superstitions or rituals that have just stuck with you that you can't get rid of.
No, I don't go much for superstition. No.
Like,
Yeah?
I do get a little bit OCD about stuff. Like when I do an audition, I can't throw out the sides, the pieces of the scenes until I don't get it.
Yeah.
And you're like, ah, fuck you, pigs.
Yes.
Then I burn them. Yeah, like just stupid things like that. But I went to school with a guy that, you know, every time, like we'd be going to our dormitory, I went to boarding school, we went, the dormitory would be that way, there's a pillar here, and every time, like this would be the way to go, he'd go like this. And then on the way back, he'd be like that. I'd go around these pillars, and I was like, what are you doing? He goes, I just have to do it. Like, crazy stuff. But no, I don't, like, superstitions, like, if your mum is a lot of, what part of Ireland is she from?
She's from Belfast.
Oh, is she? Cool. I was telling people in my meeting grade, I got a tattoo, a new tattoo, and it's an old Irish florin. It's a 2 shilling coin, and on it is a salmon. And sorry for, you know, boring you again, but the salmon is the story of the salmon of knowledge. It's a really cool story. The River Boyne in Ireland is very near where I grew up, and it's a famous Battle of the Boyne where the Brits finally took over the Irish. But way back when, in Irish folklore, there was a guy called Fionn McCool. Fionn McCool was just like, he went on to be this warrior, this famous Irish warrior. And when he was a kid, he was kind of adopted by this old Shanachie, as we call him in Ireland, which is like a storyteller or a village elder. And this village elder was like an ancient dude, and he was always fishing morning, noon, and night to catch the salmon of knowledge. Because the story goes, the salmon of knowledge was hundreds of years old and had all the knowledge that there was to have in the world. And if you caught it and ate it, you got all the knowledge. So the old guy, eventually one day, he catches this fish and he brings in this huge big salmon, and Fionn McCool helps him putting on the spit, and the old guy goes, I'm going off to get, like, you know, seasoning or whatever he's going off to get. He goes, keep turning the fish, but don't eat it. This is mine, I want to get all this knowledge. So Fionn's like, you know, splintering this bit, he's getting a bit bored, and he obviously leaves it, you know, cooked too long on one side, and when he turns it over, there's a blister on the salmon. So he puts his thumb on it, it's immediately so hot, he puts it in his mouth, and he gets the salmon, he gets all the knowledge. And so the elder comes back really pissed off, but Fionn then becomes this famous character.
He gets all the knowledge because...
Yeah. Bit of skin, that's all he took. He didn't even have to eat the fish.
Alright.
So, that's what, like, Irish mythology, I'm sure your mum has told you some fascinating stuff. Like, I really hope they start making some more movies about it, because there's so many fabulous tales and fabulous folklore that I grew up learning and forgotten all already. But there's some great stories if you ever...
But did they eat the rest of the fish?
Yeah, your man devoured it, hoping that he got
He got nothing. The old man ate the whole fish and got nothing.
Got not even the Greek alphabet.
Salmon.
I will let you that. Thank you, and then forward.